I talk, you listen. Welcome to my one-man panel of madness. Hey everybody, this is Dr. Geohu, and I had the opportunity to visit Galaxy's Edge, which is a new Star Wars land at Disneyland. And I actually had the chance to visit it before, earlier in the year, and actually that was last year. Whatever, I got to visit it again, and this time it was to be able to do uh, what, for me, was one of the greatest attractions I think I've ever experienced, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. And now I gotta say, it's a little bit shaky the way that Disney handles it, because I was thinking about this yesterday. And if you don't know that you kind of have to register for a group boarding pass, you'll miss out. Meaning, if you don't actually sign up and register at a specific time that you'll get called on to experience the ride, you won't be able to do it in your visit. And I noticed yesterday that a few people were kind of pissed off because when they got to the ride, they thought, okay, maybe I'll get a fast pass. Maybe there's a wait time. And they were told, no, unfortunately, all of the boarding groups had been assigned for the day. And so people were angry because they didn't know. Now, I was trying to remember if you actually saw a sign somewhere in the entrance, but let's be honest. When you're going to a theme park, the last thing you're looking at are signs, right? You're just like, I want to get in there and I want to start doing rides. So luckily, we knew what we were doing. Geeky guy DJ was with me, so he had the app and everything ready to go. And as soon as we got in the park, we got there right at 9 a.m. Boom, we reserved our boarding pass or boarding group, whatever. And we were 109. And I was like, wait, how is that possible? You also have to remember that Disney offers these things called extra magic hours to guests who are staying at the park, I guess, at the resorts. So if they have that, they're going to get in a lot faster than you even if you're showing up right at park open. So these are things to keep in mind if you are thinking of going to Disneyland. I hear that Disney World is a little bit different, that it actually just kind of all goes really fast. Like within not even opening, the ride is already completely full to capacity, meaning you can't register for a boarding pass. I don't know if this is true. If you're listening to this and you are from Florida and you know about this, let me know, and we can update this segment. But I gotta say, it is one of the coolest rides I have ever done. It's not even a ride. I want to say it's more of an experience. Like, you feel like you are in an actual Star Wars movie, and it has everything. It's like a story. It has a beginning, middle, and end, which is great. You know, most attractions you kind of do it, it's over, you're done. Or some attractions have like a pre-show. You see what's going to happen, you do the ride, then you're done. Even Star Tours, which I love. Star Tours has always been one of my favorite all-time, well, I guess I could say Disney, even though it's a George Lucas Star Wars thing. But when I was introduced to Star Tours way back in the 90s, I loved it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I love in an attraction. However, when you get off the attraction, you're just kind of off the attraction. You know, it's still kind of hinted and themed that you're at a new spaceport, blah, 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 blah. But in Rise of the Resistance, it's completely different. It's literally like a whole story that you're involved in. And it was just, I mean, I'm not going to spoil it because one of the things I don't like are spoilers. You all know this. And there were videos that were put out there way in advance. And there were some that I actually started watching. I'm like, well, you know, I don't know if I'll get the chance to go see it. So I wanted to kind of see what it was all about. Luckily, I didn't see the whole thing because it blew my mind. I mean, it's a combination of everything from digital. I can't even go into details as to what was all used in the attraction. Trackless system. It was just amazing. It's just amazing. I mean, you feel again like you are part of a Star Wars movie. And the perfect thing is that it's right between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, which yesterday I thought about this. I'm like, okay, wait. So you have the movie Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. But right in the middle there, in between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, you have Rise of the Resistance, which you are part of. I thought that was brilliant. That's actually really awesome. The queue is great. Even just kind of getting through the inner cave part because you're on the planet Batu. You technically at Black Spire Outpost, which is an outpost that has everything from pirates. The New Order, the First Order, sorry, is really trying to put its clamp on that area. But this is the same place where you have Hondo, right? In the Smuggler's Run, which is where you get to actually pilot and fly or engineer or use the weapons on board the Millennium Falcon, which that was another first yesterday for the first time. I actually got to pilot the Millennium Falcon. A lot harder than it looks because you're trying to watch the ride or experience the ride, but you're actually also interacting with it. So a few times I was trying to like watch and fly the ship, but I kept crashing. So it was really fun. I mean, it's just an amazing experience. But I don't know. It's just like Rise of the Resistance is nothing I've ever done, and I don't even know how Disney could top something like this. It's amazing because it also has the cast members involved in the ride. So like, you without saying too much, there is a portion where you are taken captive by the First Order. And, instead of kind of being all Disney-esque and courteous to you, no, they tell you where to stand. They will make fun of you. They will insult you because that's the job. But it's perfect. I mean, it's in all, it's kind of fun. It's not like they're going to mock you. But they're the First Order. They're there to essentially process you until Kylo Ren. And that's not much of a spoiler. I mean, if you watch the commercials, I'm trying to go with what the commercials I've seen for Rise of the Resistance have shown you. But it's just, I mean, I'm not going to lie. From the very beginning where we are, there's a little kind of pre-show, I don't even know if it's a pre-show, but there's a moment where somebody from the Resistance, female, if you know who I'm talking about, appears in holographic form. I just started tearing up. It was just perfectly done. And then you're kind of whisked away into another shuttle and taken on board without saying too much, I was gonna say Starkiller Base, but that's not where you're going. It's just, I mean, there's so much, and I'm still kind of amazed. Even after I did the ride, it took me about 20 to 30 minutes to really kind of put my thoughts together because I couldn't really think about what I had just experienced. I'm sorry, Star Destroyer. That's what it was, not Starkiller Base. Sorry, wrong ship. And yeah, so you're about to be interrogated, and then you got to escape. And again, it's one of those rides that again has a beginning, middle, and end. And the end goes with the ride. In other words, it's not just like, okay, well, here you are, folks. Everybody, please get off the vehicle or whatever. No, it's so well themed that, yeah, I mean, I was trying to think about how I'm going to talk about this without spoiling it, because I know that there are parts of the ride that I didn't know about. They don't show you in the commercial. So you're like, what? It was really, really cool. The music is amazing. It just, again, puts you in the middle of a scene, and you feel like you're part of the resistance, which is great. I mean, I just like the whole, idea of Black Spire Outpost. It's a great place to just spend a day. I mean, you believe you actually are there at Batu. And, I mean, fans were coming with their lightsabers. There was this whole group of fans that had created the droids, and they were all kind of, showing off their droids. It's almost the same thing. I was just thinking about this. Like, sometimes you get to a parking lot at a supermarket and there's all these like beautiful antique cars or roadsters, and everyone's just kind of hanging out, showing off their cars. Same thing, but droids. Same thing, lightsabers. It was just, as a geek, this is what I like to do. This is what I like to experience and be there with my fellow fans. Everything from the food, the drinks, the stormtroopers, Kylo Ren walking around. One thing I really wanted to see was Rey, because I know that there is a Rey character that walks around. I didn't get to see her yesterday, but I really wanted to see what she was all about. And I love that Kylo Ren can be like a nasty, person. And actually, I did experience that. One person, I felt bad, we wanted to get a picture with Kylo Ren, and he literally just no and walked off with the stormtroopers. And he was serious. And the guy was like, I can't believe he just said no to me. I'm like, that's Kylo Ren. What are you expecting? So, yeah, definitely, if you ever have the chance to do Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, it's just something beyond. I mean, I don't know. I can't explain it. I used to love thrill rides. I love roller coasters. Um, but after doing this, like, I really want to do it again and again and again. Unfortunately, I think for the time being, they're still using this boarding pass option. So, like, we got in around 9 a.m. We didn't get to actually ride or experience Rise of the Resistance until about 4 p.m. So if you think about it, it's almost a 5 hour. I think it was actually more like a 5.5 hour wait. So during that time, you do the favorites. Like one of my favorites since I was a kid was Peter Pan. Another is Haunted Mansion. Unfortunately, it was closed. So you go over to California Adventure, did the Cars ride, which was also I thought was really cute and fun. So you just do other rides, which I think is great because you don't have to stand in line for 5.5 hours. I know recently there was another attraction that was open at the Disney Studios in Florida, and people literally waited hours to get into that ride. It was where the Great Movie Ride used to be. So I think that by assigning people, a boarding group, you show up. And I think even in line, we went through, I mean, the whole line queue was literally about a 10 to 15-minute walk, which is cool, though, because it's very well themed. One thing I noticed, which is really cool, they actually build seats. So, when they actually open it to like the general public where you don't need to sign up for a boarding pass, you can actually have a seat along the way if you get tired. And then, again, it's just one of those things where I can't explain it. It's you have to experience it for yourself. You can watch the videos and kind of get an idea what it's like, but until you're on that ride and you are being fired upon and you are seeing stormtroopers, you are seeing Kylo. I mean, it's just so immersive that I try to take photos and I'm trying to take pictures and experience. I mean, there was a part, again, there was a first part that made me tear up. There was a second part that literally I just lost it because it's like a childhood dream to be in a Star Wars movie. And there you are, and there's just a perfect moment, I don't want to ruin it, where you are just so immersed and surrounded by all this stuff that, and I'm trying not to spoil again, that this is it. It's like total nerdgasm. I'm not even kidding. It's a total nerdgasm. Like, I was just like, when I walked off that ride, I was like, what did I just experience? Because, I mean, it's great. And again, I love Star Wars, but I wasn't sure really about the ride yet. I wanted to see it for myself. But everybody that kept coming out of that ride, same thing. Smiles on their faces, saying the same thing. This is amazing. I don't think there was one person that I heard say, this sucked. And I mean, there could be people, but not when I was there. So yeah, I'm so excited. I really, really want to do this again. And I was just thinking, this gives me a reason to actually get an annual pass or a season pass, whatever, to this park, just so I can go hang out at Batuu, at Black Spire Outpost. Because, I mean, towards the end of the night, that's all I did. I had a cup of coffee with a lemon power bar and just sat there and just took in the environment. And there's nothing more beautiful than seeing the Millennium Falcon at night lit up. It's gorgeous. Of course, if the TARDIS were there, it'd be even better, but it's just beautiful. It's just a beautiful scene to see. And I'm already planning to have my birthday next year at Black Spire Outpost. So I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to work to make sure that happens, and I'm going to have a blast. So that's all I have for this segment. So when you get a chance, go check it out. Again, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. And subscribe and listen, whether you hate me, like me, or ignore me. You should be listening.